Sydney's Hordern Pavilion was buzzing in July 2024. Tenacious D, the irreverent duo of Jack Black and Kyle Gass, were midway through a raucous set when fans presented Gass with a birthday cake. Black leaned over and asked him to make a wish. Gass grinned into the mic and riffed, "Don't miss Trump next time," a flippant reference to a shooting at a Donald Trump rally one day earlier. The crowd laughed awkwardly, but outside the venue the remark ignited fury. An Australian senator demanded the band be expelled from the country, social media filled with accusations of inciting violence, and within hours Tenacious D canceled the rest of their tour. Black said he was blindsided, telling fans he would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. Gass apologized for what he called a severe lack of judgment and admitted the line was dangerous and a terrible mistake. For a band whose act depends on offensive humor, one throwaway joke proved costly. But they are not alone. In recent years, artists across the musical spectrum have faced cancellations for comments that cross political lines. To understand how free speech collides with entertainment, let's look at other musicians whose words curtailed their careers. Tenacious D, the birthday wish heard round the world. The backlash to Gass's quip was swift because it came amid a particularly tense moment. Trump had survived an assassination attempt just a day before, and any hint of violence was tender. Jack Black initially put all creative plans for Tenacious D on hold, later promising fans the duo would return when things cooled off. The Sydney show was supposed to be a celebratory stop on a world tour. Instead, it became a case study in how a political joke can derail an international act. The open question, whether the band's fan base would forgive them, remained unanswered as of mid-2025. And as we'll see, far more serious political statements have cost artists even more than a hiatus. Roger Waters, when activism costs a publishing deal. Roger Waters, the former Pink Floyd bassist, has never shied away from politics. He has long criticized Israel's treatment of Palestinians and accused U.S. leaders of fomenting wars. In January 2024, the music rights company BMG dropped him from its roster over what it called inflammatory remarks about Israel, Ukraine, and the United States. BMG had signed Waters in 2016 and planned to release his re-recorded version of Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. But new CEO Thomas Kosfeld terminated the agreement. The split followed renewed outrage over Waters wearing what critics described as a Nazi-style uniform on stage in Berlin and using imagery that the U.S. State Department said contained anti-Semitic tropes and minimized the Holocaust. Waters denied being anti-Semitic, insisting his disdain was for Israel's government, not Judaism, but the damage was done. BMG's exit was notable because publishing contracts rarely end over politics. The controversy also torpedoed plans to sell Pink Floyd's catalog for hundreds of millions, as potential buyers were driven off by Waters' rhetoric. Waters continues to tour independently, but losing a major publisher shows how activism can reverberate far beyond a single concert. And his case is not the only example where support for Palestine has triggered cancellations.
Kelahani, when advocacy meets university politics. In April 2025, Cornell University announced R&B star Kelahani as the headliner for its annual Slope Day concert. Within days, campus leaders reversed course. University President Michael Kotlikoff wrote that the booking had injected division and discord because the singer had espoused anti-Semitic, anti-Israel sentiments. Kelahani's music video for her 2024 song, Next to You, features Palestinian flags and the words, "Long live the Intifada." She has publicly said, "Fuck Israel, fuck Zionism." Kotlikoff said Slope Day was about uniting Cornell's community, not dividing it, and that while artists have the right to express views, the university needed to protect Jewish students. The decision sparked debate about free speech on campus and whether universities should vet artists' political views. Kelahani did not comment publicly, but her cancellation underscored the ways in which pro-Palestine advocacy can collide with institutional sensitivities. This same theme would play out on a much larger stage when an Irish rap group made their views explicit at one of the world's biggest music festivals. Kneecap. An agent drops them after Coachella. Kneecap, a Belfast-based rap trio, are known for mixing Irish lyric language with satire and political commentary. During their sets at the 2025 Coachella Festival, they projected the phrases, "Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people," and "Fuck Israel, Free Palestine," behind them. Band member Mo Chara told the crowd that Palestinians were being bombed and had nowhere to go. Within a week, their U.S. booking agent dropped them. Fox News likened their statements to Nazi Germany, and several summer shows were canceled. Complicating matters, old videos resurfaced of the trio yelling slogans such as "The only good Tory is a dead Tory" and "Up Hezbollah, up Hamas." The families of murdered British MPs Joe Cox and David Ames publicly condemned those comments, prompting NECAP to apologize and say they never intended to cause hurt. They insisted their criticisms were aimed at oppressive systems, not individuals. Yet the incident shows how quickly a political message can lead to professional consequences, especially when statements are interpreted as supporting extremist groups. Another veteran rock artist faced similar backlash, but from the opposite end of the political spectrum. Ted Nugent, a show canceled by community outrage. Ted Nugent, the guitar hero behind classics like Cat Scratch Fever, has long courted controversy with far-right rhetoric. In May 2023, the Avondale Brewing Co. in Birmingham, Alabama, announced to stop on Nugent's Adios Mofo farewell tour. Their social media posts were flooded with more than 1,000 comments condemning the booking because of Nugent's extreme political views. Commenters threatened boycotts, with one writing, "Lose this show or lose my business," and another saying they would never spend another dollar at the venue. In response, the brewery canceled the concert and said it had heard the community's concerns. Nugent is known for belittling survivors of the Parkland school shooting, urging Trump supporters to go berserk on the skulls of Democrats, and calling Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization. He recently criticized transgender people. The backlash showed that a local community could exert enough pressure to nix a show when they felt a performer's politics crossed a line. Nugent later found another venue, but the episode illustrated how social media activism can act as a gatekeeper for live performances. With our case studies in mind, what does all this mean for artists who speak their minds?
Free speech versus audience expectations. The stories of Tenacious D, Roger Waters, Kehlani, NECAP, and Ted Nugent reveal a complicated relationship between art and activism. Kyle Gass's offhand joke about a presidential shooting cost his band a tour. Roger Waters' decades-long support for Palestine saw him lose a major publishing deal and alienate potential buyers of his catalog. Kehlani's booking at Cornell was scrapped because administrators feared her pro-Palestine stance would divide students. NECAP's Coachella speech led to an agent dropping them, and shows being canceled. Ted Nugent's concert was pulled after locals decried his inflammatory comments. Each case underscores that, while artists have a platform to voice political opinions, audiences and gatekeepers have their own power to respond or to withdraw support. The line between principled speech and perceived incitement is subjective and shaped by social context. For performers, the risk is clear. Words spoken in the heat of a moment can ripple far beyond the stage, impacting careers, partnerships, and even entire tours. For fans, the debate continues. Do we want our rock stars to stay silent on issues they care about? Or can we accept art that challenges our comfort zones? As long as music remains a reflection of society, the tension between free expression and public backlash will persist, making every statement on stage both an artistic choice and a potential turning point.